who do you think is Satoshi Nakamoto? Is it possible that you are, in fact, Satoshi Nakamoto?
No. You know, if you have a preponderance of the evidence, I think the most likely candidate would be Adam Back. It's the Occam's razor candidate, and mostly because he's the right place, right time, right age, right skill set. You know, if you look at the design of Bitcoin, the types of decisions like the use of Forth, the scripting language, that was pretty common in English and European pedagogy in the 1980s and 1990s as like an example language for a stack-based assembly. And like little stuff like that, little quirks like that. Also, he created Hashcash, which was the predecessor of proof of work. He just kind of got a chip on his shoulder that Microsoft never did anything with it. So he's probably looking for something. He grew up with all the cypherpunks. He knew of Hal Finney. You know, he knew of all these people. He knew Phil Zimmermann.
Hal Finney.
Well, no, because the code was not good enough. Hal was a Unix, Linux guy. He was a talented programmer. He was a talented developer. The initial code for Bitcoin was developed, it looked like on a Windows machine. Adam worked at Microsoft, go figure. And also it was very academic and it had to be cleaned up and a lot of things had to be patched up and fixed. If a guy like Hal developed it, they probably had less of the, let's use SecP256K1 and these types of things and more of like, hey, let's build this cool engineering thing and we'll figure out the protocol design later on. It just stinks of an older academic, the initial design of Bitcoin and the initial rollout of Bitcoin. And then brilliant people like Greg Maxwell and others, they came and cleaned it all up. And lo and behold, where's Adam? He's like the CEO of the largest Bitcoin development company in the space who's trying to keep working on and building out Bitcoin. And where the hell was Adam when Satoshi was around? I don't think there was any overlap where they were both together at the same period of time. But I mean, if you really care, you can, you could even do this. There's a lovely paper written by the U.S. Army. If you just Google like code stellometry, U.S. Army, it's a technique where you can use ML and a few other things to actually kind of develop a fingerprint for the way that people write code. So all you got to do is take the original Bitcoin source code and then take all the open source repos from around that time period and before and see if there's a match between those two. Now, if he's really good at creating an alias, probably not so good at obfuscating the code that was written. So the odds are that you'd probably find a match to a repo that's connected to a real life human identity, or at least a weaker OPSEC because, you're younger, you have weaker OPSEC.
Do you know if people have tried that?
I don't think anybody's actually done it, but there's actually a beautiful paper. It's like 94% accurate, the code stellometry.
Code stellometry. So I've for various reasons, I've worked with people that work on stellometry of natural language.
Okay.
And
I think it matches closest to Nick Szabo if you actually do the written stellometry analysis of Satoshi's writings to Szabo's.
So I meant stellometry as a field. I didn't actually look for application for this particular problem. But so you're saying Nick Szabo is the closest match?
Yeah, somebody did it years. I didn't look at if the model was sound or not, but I just remember reading on a Bitcoin talk. And Szabo is another one of the common candidates. Hal Finney, Szabo, and Adam are probably the top three things that people would look.